Dallas Cowboys have new reinforcements with Bill Belichick. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Bill Belichick to the Cowboys feels like the perfect match for all parties. Mike McCarthy is still the head coach of the Cowboys, at least for now. But with yet another season ending in disappointment, the Bill Belichick rumors are really beginning to swirl around Dallas. McCarthy had the Cowboys sitting as the number 2 seed in the NFC after another 12-win regular season, and the team carried some real Super Bowl aspirations into the playoffs. Those evaporated rather quickly on Sunday afternoon as the Cowboys were thoroughly embarrassed by the Green Bay Packers, 48-32, on their home turf. And it really wasn't even that close, with the Packers racing out to a 27-0 lead in the first half. Rumblings, rumors, and mostly wishes of Bill Belichick's employment in Dallas began to swirl before the game even got to halftime on Sunday. Many were wondering if Dallas owner and grand poobah of Cowboys football Jerry Jones would even let McCarthy coach in the second half after an embarrassing 30 minutes of football. At this point in the NFL coaching carousel, we know that the Atlanta Falcons are serious in their pursuit of a legendary coach. After 24 years as the boss of the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick has already interviewed in Atlanta, as has Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh, and he's already met with the Chargers. There are rumors connecting Bill Belichick and the Dallas Cowboys and Bill Belichick and the Philadelphia Eagles, but so far just smoke without fire. And now comes a doozy if you evaluate it beyond its surface level. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, Bill Belichick is currently looking for a team that is talented yet underachieving. We will put aside any skepticism for a moment, who told him that, and plow forward. Talented yet underachieving? Well, that's Dallas, right? The Cowboys under present coach Mike McCarthy have a star-studded roster, 9 All-Pros, and go 12-5 every year before annually fizzling out in the playoffs. Talented yet underachieving? Well, that's Philly, right? The Eagles under present coach Nick Sirianni have a Super Bowl roster. They almost won it just 12 months ago and started 10-1 this season before collapsing at the end of the season and in the playoffs. But no Fowler reports that it is the Falcons who fit that description. I was told from the beginning that Bill Belichick would likely target talented yet underachieving teams. Atlanta probably falls in that category, Fowler said on SportsCenter. Is Atlanta talented? Did the Falcons, once again falling short of the postseason with rotating mediocrity at QB, truly underachieve? If we believe Fowler's information in the first place, that he knows what Bill Belichick is targeting, Jones was beside himself after the game, calling it one of the most painful losses of his ownership. The Cowboys have now lost on Wild Card Weekend twice in the last 3 years, and on Sunday, they became the first 2 seed to lose to a 7 seed since the NFL went with a 14-team playoff format in 2020. McCarthy has led the team to 3 straight 12-win seasons, but has just 1 playoff win in that span. Most important, Dallas hasn't won a Super Bowl since 1995. You better believe the 81-year-old Jones is going to do everything in his power to change that in the coming years. And there is only one man he should call whenever Jones decides to move on from McCarthy, Bill Belichick. It makes too much sense for both sides. Bill Belichick is looking to win now after his 24-year run in New England came to an end, and Dallas has the roster to do just that. Bill Belichick would love to coach a defensive all-pro like Micah Parsons, the closest thing to a modern-era Lawrence Taylor, and he'd be inheriting a top-5 defense in the NFL. The Cowboys need a head coach who can get them over the hump and win in the playoffs, and Bill Belichick proved that he could do that time and time again in New England. Whether he can do that without Tom Brady remains in question, but he'd have a much better chance at winning a playoff game with Dak Prescott, postseason warts and all, than he did with Mac Jones 2 years ago. And he has an owner committed to winning and ponying up the funds necessary to build a winning roster. Whenever Jerry Jones opts to move on from McCarthy, which feels like a foregone conclusion at this point, his first phone call should be to Belichick if he hasn't placed a call already. Jones would love to have a coach of Belichick's clout come and finish his career in Dallas, where he'd likely break Don Shula's win record sometime over the next 2 seasons. The second story is Jerry Jones's issues stern, 4-word message to Cowboys players after Packers blowout. Jerry Jones called Sunday's blowout loss to the Green Bay Packers the most surprising of his career, and didn't hold back when addressing the players in the Dallas Cowboys locker room after. According to Cowboys cornerback Jordan Lewis, Jones unloaded on the team shortly after Dallas was ousted in the NFC wildcard 48-32. "We got to win," Lewis said, was Jones's message to the players via CBS Sports. The Cowboys won the NFC East Division Championship in 2023 after finishing 12-5, earning the number 2 seed in the postseason, only to fail to reach the NFC Championship game for the 29th consecutive season. "This is the Dallas Cowboys," Lewis says. Jones stressed. "We had everything to win. We can't let this feeling keep going on. I just feel like he wants to win right now. The urgency is now. It was always that, and we always had that on our shoulders, but he made that clear." That was his point. Since Jones purchased the Cowboys in 1989, the organization won 3 Super Bowls in the 1990s, but have yet to find a way to replicate that level of postseason dominance. Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy has guided the Cowboys to 3 consecutive 12-win seasons, but Dallas has just 1 playoff victory over that span. The Cowboys' early postseason exit, combined with Jones' sense of urgency to make a legitimate Super Bowl run, cast doubt over head coach Mike McCarthy's chances of returning in 2024. However, as Jones plots what's next for McCarthy, Cowboys players came to the defense of the 60-year-old head coach. "Mike McCarthy, that's my guy, man," Cowboys special teamer Cavante Turpin said via CBS Sports. "He gave me an opportunity, especially coming this year on the offensive end," Turpin said Monday. "I just got mad respect for Mike, man. Whatever he do, he got my blessing." The Dallas Cowboys could make a move at quarterback this offseason. With the team facing salary cap issues entering the offseason, they're $11 million in the red in cap space. There will likely be cap casualties for the Cowboys. One of those players pitched as a potential cap casualty is none other than quarterback Cooper Rush. According to Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox, the Cowboys could move on from Rush. His cap hit is $2.9 million for the 2024 season and save $2.3 million. His dead cap hit would only be $625K if the Cowboys released him this offseason. Dumping Rush would only save $2.3 million in cap space. But it's an easy cut to justify, and the Cowboys need all the cap space they can muster, writes Knox. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are both entering the final year of their current deals and are very likely to receive extensions in 2024. The 30-year-old Rush has been a long-time backup on the Cowboys roster and has been in the organization since entering as an undrafted free agent in 2017. Rush saw minimal playing time during his first 5 seasons, starting just 1 game. However, he broke out in 2022 while starting 5 games for an injured Dak Prescott early in the season. Rush went 4-1 in those starts, kept the Cowboys' season alive. They eventually made it to the playoffs and threw 5 touchdowns against 3 interceptions for an 80-point passer rating. In fact, his 1.9% interception percentage was a massive upgrade over Prescott's 3.8% interception rate, which was the worst in the league. That efficient season led to Rush signing a 2-year deal worth $6 million for the Cowboys this past offseason. With that being said, the acquisition of former number 3 overall pick Trey Lance in a preseason trade with the San Francisco 49ers may spell the end for Rush. However, last offseason's trade for San Francisco 49ers signal caller and former first-round pick Trey Lance makes Rush somewhat expendable, writes Knox. If Dallas doesn't believe it can develop Lance into a capable long-term backup, then dealing a 4th-round pick to secure him was a waste. Lance doesn't appear to be a threat to Prescott's gig as the starting quarterback, but he should present a threat to Rush's long-term role as a backup. Although he didn't take a single snap during the 2023 season, there are some expectations for Lance considering the Cowboys gave up a 4th-round pick in order to acquire him. "We view it as an opportunity that could pay dividends this year and will pay dividends," Jones said regarding the Lance trade back in August. Lance has 1 year left on his deal, the final year of his rookie deal, at $5.3 million. While Lance obviously doesn't have experience in the Cowboys system when it comes to game reps, he does have experience starting for the Niners, going 2-2 in 4 starts with 5 touchdowns against 3 interceptions, with 797 passing yards, an 84.5 passer rating, and 235 rushing yards. The third story is Eagles Pro Bowler projected to leave, potentially sign with Cowboys. a notable Philadelphia Eagles Pro Bowler could be on the way out this offseason. DeAndre Swift, who is coming off of his first Pro Bowl campaign after a 1,000-yard season, is entering free agency for the first time this offseason. As Bleacher Report's Matt Holder writes, Swift could leave for another team in free agency, with the Dallas Cowboys mentioned as a potential destination. Last offseason proved that the free agent market is cruel to running backs in today's NFL, so Swift shouldn't expect a large contract this spring, writes Holder. However, he is coming off a career year, rushing for over 1,000 yards for the first time as a pro and earning his first Pro Bowl appearance. According to Spotrac, Swift's market value is $5.6 million per season for a total of $22.7 million across 4 years.